Alright, so we got some moves made today. As you can see, the bed's removed. It was, and I won't lie to you, a total pain in the ass to do. I'll show you why in a second. There's the bed. I'm going to raise it up on blocks and stuff so I can do my body work to it, get it ready for paint. I'm getting ready to figure out where I want to do my back half to start and end at. I'd like to do 2x4 box steel 1/4 inch. Probably somewhere from here back. And I'll make the C-notch taller so that it really allows the truck to lay out in the back. I did notice that I had a little bit of cab rot, but I mean, it's nothing bad. I can fix that easily. So yeah, that's not terrible. Yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at. I've got to go to work after a while, so I want to put my tank back up and hook it all back together, put my tail lights in, get that all functional so I can drive it. Honestly, I do like the look of these trucks without the beds on them. I like that in progress look, I guess you call it. I don't know. That I was in a hurry. I had to borrow the neighbor's space to do the job with when I put the 4-link in, and I was in a rush, and it was a total pain in the ass to do with the bed off. So when it gets, the box steel gets here and I redo this, that'll all be gone. Note an update on the chassis tech setup. It works. It's kind of like using a wrench as a hammer. It works. It's not right, but it works. Meaning, the front mount is fine. It's perfectly fine. I wouldn't care a bit to use those again. The rear mounts, if you've noticed here, it stacks everything on top of the frame, creating leverage. There's no quality from top to bottom. Thor Brothers, Jason, he sells a set of these, and I'm going to redo it with his setup. It's going to cost about 45 bucks, but it basically will take the center line of the axle from a side view and put a bar on top and one on bottom. Not only will it lower it and make the ride height level at a lower rate, it will also not put such a bind on my rear axle. Also, another note for the chassis tech setup, not a fan of the panhard bar they send you. It's a double heim joint setup, which is fine in and of itself. For my application, I didn't like how I had to do it, so a buddy of mine had this, I think it's a 27-28 inch bar from Extensive Metal Works. I used that. We used a piece of 2x2 and made a little, I guess you call it a step out there, and we welded it to that, and I have had zero issues since we did that. As far as quality goes for this stuff, the chassis tech stuff had quality. I'm not saying it's not quality, it's just, it's that universal fit that you have to butcher the crap out of to make it work. In a pinch, it'll work. I learned a lesson. And I still will run the bars. I mean, the bars seem to be fine. The front mounts seem to be fine. I just did not like the back mounts and the way their panhard bar set up, because the panhard bar was only like 17 inches long, something like that. And it was making some drastic changes from left to right as the suspension cycled. So I would say, all things considered, price, quality, stuff like that, the chassis tech stuff would be, I would say, a 2.5 to 3 stars out of 5. One of those, not terrible, not bad, the deals. It's done, but it's not pretty. If I had to, also, the reason I'm kind of giving a more generosity towards them is because this truck is hard to buy for. There's nothing made prefab for a 87 to 96 F-Series, hardly. Jerry Kessler's the only guy that I know that makes the drop tie rod end setups where you don't have to notch your frame to clear the tie rod ends once you put your drop beams in. And those are $284, I think it is, for his setup. So, you know, $284 or $20 in product and an evening of job to notch your frame. Nothing big. Sure, Jerry's stuff is just fine. It's just, from a price standpoint, that's kind of expensive, but I understand R&D costs money, and The only reason it gets cheaper is because more and more people buy it, which it's one of those things. Back whenever these trucks were being bagged for the first time, and the drop beams were $1,200. That's why nobody bagged them. Or if they did, they used a Chevrolet frame just because price. And I understand price reflects quality sometimes, but there has to be a mutual compromise between the seller for price point and the buyer for paying more for quality parts. So that's my thought on it. I'll pay more for a better product that actually fits, especially in my setup here. If I find somebody that would make a kit for this truck, not a problem. Especially if I could find somebody that would make a kit that would raise the gas tank. But the problem is, the gas tank goes from under the cab all the way back to 8 inches from the axle. I mean, this thing is retardedly long. So, fuel cell it is. I mean, it's just easier. I tried my best to play nice with this truck, and it isn't working. So, yeah, a lot of changes will be coming. Plus, fuel cell allows me to get rid of the double fuel lines, which I'm just going to keep those in case I ever get another truck, which I plan on. But yeah, custom fuel lines, fuel cell, that'll square that away. I'd like to run another tank because one tank does do the job, but I can raise my truck twice and it's kaput. I have to get the compressor turned on. But that's pretty much where I'm sitting at right now. This truck is going to go lower. I was told it'll never be fully on air, and here it is. I learned some valuable lessons that nobody had the information for because they'd never bagged one of these, but now I have the information. Now I'm giving it on to you guys. So yeah, don't do it. Don't do it unless you got a lot of money and time and it's not your daily driver, which mine is. That's why it's so long between updates.